ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. My sub count's probably still 70. Nobody's subscribing to me anymore. I don't know why I've got a little remind button right there. That's really weird. What is that? I don't know what that is.
Wow. What a great
Oh, there it just went away. All right, so again, like I was explaining before I started the video, all of these problems that we will do today have a number out front. That's the key difference from what we did on Friday to what we're doing today. Once you put the number out front, there's just more work to show. Again, I cannot stress it enough. Repetition is key, especially on tonight's homework. You just have to learn the process. And that's true for a lot of the second semester. I'm going to teach you a lot of different things, and it's not a difficult thing to learn. You just have to make sure you understand the process. Okay? You just have to understand the process and do it over and over and over again so that you know, it's kind of like muscle memory. All right. Okay, what did I say about guess and check? No me gusta, right? So the book is going to ask you to do guess and check at times. Guess what I say to guess and check? No soup for you.
What is it, Dale?
Anybody know what I'm talking about? Seinfeld. Yeah, Seinfeld. Yeah,
I wasn't listening.
That's okay. That's okay. When do you ever listen to that? Oh, I'm lost. Recorded forever.
Copyrighted.
Copyrighted.
I would have to see that.
All right.
I know copyright.
You can hear it very clearly.
So, when you have a number out front, okay, when you have a number out front, the process gets a little bit more involved. So everybody do this with me. Write down everything that I write down on the board with this problem. So what you do is you multiply first times last. Okay. Before, it was just take the factors of -8, right? Now what we have to do, since there is a number out front, we have to find the factors of 3 times -8. Okay, so what is 3 times -8? -24. -24. So it is no longer just find the factors of -8. It's find the factors of 3 times -8. Some people call this method the master product method. What does the word product mean? Multiplication. Master product. Okay? Now, I find the factors of -24 that add to get to my middle number. So I'm not going to look at the middle number yet. -1 times 24, -2 times 12, -3 times 8, -4 times 6. Oh, wow, this is a long list. Again, for tonight's homework, I'd like you to write out your lists, just like we did on last night's homework. From then on, I'm okay if you don't. But tonight's homework, I need you to write out your entire list. Okay, which set of factors works? Which set of factors works? Which set of factors add to get to -2? Rosie. -6, +4. Now, here's the difference between yesterday's work, the weekend's work, what we did on Friday, to today. This is where it starts to get a little bit more involved, okay? I cannot just go straight to my answers. Okay, everybody listening, everybody working ahead, erase what you had, because it's not right. This is where it starts to get more involved. What do I do with -6 and +4? Do I go straight to my answers? No. I take the middle term and I rewrite it using those 2 factors. Here's what I mean. The first term stays exactly the same. The last term stays exactly the same. The middle term, negative 2x, gets separated into those two factors that worked. Negative 6x, positive 4x. You may be thinking to yourself, well, Mr. Laverick, why are you just allowed to change the problem like that? It seems like you're doing something you shouldn't be allowed to do. Guys, what is negative 6 plus 4? Negative 2. Aren't I just rewriting that? I'm not changing the value. All I'm doing is rewriting it in a different way. Some people call this master product. Some people also call this, my Algebra 1 teacher called this factor by rewrite. Why does she call it that? Because what did we do with negative 2x? We rewrote it as the two factors. Now, what do we do with a 4-term polynomial? Exactly. We factor by grouping. Dylan was like, well, I know what to do with this. Underline the first two, underline the last two. Didn't we just do this on Thursday's quiz? We did this on Thursday's quiz.
We should have. Maybe then.
You underline the first two and underline the last two. Okay, so what's my GCF of my first two? 3x. So we remove a 3x, and what's left over? What's left over? X minus 2. Right? What are we doing there? We're dividing out the GCF, right? 3x squared divided by 3x gets us an x. 6x divided by 3x gets us a 2. What's my GCF of my second two terms? 4. A positive 4. So we write plus 4. Divide out a 4 here and here. What's left over? Holy chicken nuggets, it's the same thing. If that happens, well, I guess I should say this. If that doesn't happen, you screwed up. It's not prime anymore, right? Back when I said, oh, there's one of two things. It's either prime or you screwed up. You made a mistake, okay? How would I know when it's prime? If there was nothing in my list of factors that added to get to my middle. If you found a set of factors that added to get to the middle, then it is definitely factorable. Okay? But if on your list of factors you found one, and then you did it, and then these came out to be incorrect, guess what? You did something wrong. If it came out to be not the same thing inside the parentheses. But now we're not done yet. We got to say our final answer. Remember, you take out the two common pieces, x minus 2, and then what's in my other set of parentheses? 3x plus 4, whatever's left over, right? You remove the x minus 2, you leave a 3x and a 4 from the outsides. So that requires a little bit more work, doesn't it? You can't just go straight to your answer. Let's go through the process again. First step, multiply. Multiply first and last. Second step, you do your list of factors. Third step, after we find the one that works out of our list, you rewrite. Then, to finish it off, we factor by grouping. Okay? Multiply first times last. Make your list. Rewrite the middle term. Factor by grouping. All right. Let's try the next one there. 2x squared plus 9x minus 18. Again, if you're one of the people that are not very good at your math facts, you need to have a calculator out with you at all times, including right now if you're one of those people. Okay, what are we going to find the factors of? Negative 36. Okay, so negative 1 times 36, negative 2 times 18, negative 3 times 12, negative 4 times 9, negative 6 times 6. And then we have to flip them all around, right? Negative 9 times 4, negative 12 times 3, negative 18 times 2, negative 36 times 1. 9 pieces on that list, right? 9 factors. Which set works? Which one adds to get positive 9x? Emily? Negative 3, positive 12. Negative 3, positive 12. Remember that it's not just x minus 3x plus 12 anymore. You cannot just go straight to your answer. So third step is rewrite. I take this middle term. Now remember, first term stays the same. Last term stays the same. The only thing that changes is the middle term. Minus 3x plus 12x. Always, always, always put your negative factor first. You don't have to, but then you'd end up pulling out a negative, and you don't do that. Okay, last step, factor by grouping. You pull out an x, leaving a 2x minus 3. 6 is my GCF, leaving a 2x minus 3. 2x minus 3 comes out with an x plus 6 left over. Don't believe me? What would you do? Boil it back out. Use the distributive property, multiply it back out again. Guess what? You'd get a 9x in the middle. 2x squared plus 9x minus 18. You want to try one on your own? Try that one on your own. It's a positive one, so your list does not double, which is nice. Okay, so let's try this one. How are we doing on this? We feel like we're kind of understanding? What am I going to find the factors of? 24, right? 6 times 4 gets us 24. Okay, so now I list out factors of 24. 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. Anything else? Okay, which set of factors works? 3 times 8. 3 plus 8 is 11, right? So these factors work. So that means I go back in and I rewrite my middle term. First term stays the same. Last term stays the same. I say 3x and 8x, and now I factor by grouping. What's my GCF of my first two terms? Jack? You were right with your number. What'd you say? 3, then what? Good. What's it leave us with, Jack? 2x plus 1. Yeah, we divide out the 3x. Did you put the 8x first? No, that's not wrong. Don't erase your answer. Because that might not be wrong. See, this is a good point to bring up. Jack decided to put 8x, then 3x. That's not wrong. And he probably got the correct answer in the end if he factored by grouping correctly. What's my GCF here? Well, that would be a 4, leaving us with another 2x plus 1. Jack, did you get 2x plus 1 and 3x plus 4? Just flipped around?
Yeah.
Yes. That's what's going to happen if you put the other factor first. If you decided to put 8x, then 3x, it's just going to be flipped around. How we normally write 2x plus 1, then 3x plus 4. Jack wrote 3x plus 4, 2x plus 1. Is that wrong? No, that's not wrong. Multiplication, again, is commutative. We can change the order, and it's not going to change the outcome. Okay? So that's still my answer. How do we do on that? We do okay? Okay, let's keep it rolling. Okay, what are we going to find the factors of? 42. Okay, at least it's positive, and this list isn't going to double. So 42. 1 times 42. 2 times what? 21. Okay, 3 times. Now, I don't know my factors of 42 offhand, so I'm just going to do 42 times divide by 3, 14. Does it divide by 4? Let's check. 42 divided by 4. No. 5. No. 6. Yes. And then my list would wrap back around again because 6 times 7 is the same thing as 7 times 6, right? All right, now, which set of factors works? Oh, wait, I need them both to be negative, don't I? Because I need to get to a negative 23. Boom, 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 boom. Which set of factors works? Negative 2, negative 21. 6x squared minus 2x minus 21x plus 7. Okay, everybody, focus here. What's my GCF of my first two terms? Isn't it a 2x? That's not the hard part about this problem. The hard part is coming next. 3x minus 1. What's my GCF of my second two parts? Negative 7. Negative 7. Why do I say a negative? Somebody tell me, why am I saying a negative? Maddie? Yeah, I lead with a negative in my second grouping. So I actually have to pull out a negative 7, leaving a 3x minus 1, right? When I divide by negative 7 here, 7 divided by negative 7 gets me a negative 1. So my answers are both negative. 2x minus 7, 3x minus 1. Questions about that? Watch out with the negatives. That's a major sticking point in these types of problems. Okay. Last type of problem that we have is one that leads with a negative. Don't forget, when your whole problem leads with a negative, you need to factor out a negative. For example, look at part E here. What do you see at the very beginning? A negative, right? Is there any other GCF involved? Just 2, 5, and 3 have a GCF. No. We would have to pull out the other GCF, but in our case, no. -1. I'm just going to do a -1 big parenthesis, and now I'm going to factor it out. Positive 2x squared, positive 5x, positive 3. You know what I could do with that -1? I'm going to drop it all the way down to our answer. Yes? What do you mean? We divided out the negative. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. What am I going to find the factors of? What am I going to find the factors of? 2 times 3, which is? So what are the factors of 6 that add to get to 5? -1 times 6? Does that add to get to 5? Is -1 times 6 positive 6, folks? No. Negative times a positive is a negative, not a positive. Guys, is -1 times 6 any of our factors? No. Our list of factors are 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. Do any of those work? Yes. 2 and 3 works. 2 and 3. Watch out for that. This one is always tempting. People always try to say 6 and -1. Nope. So we say 2x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 3. Factor by grouping. We pull out a 2x, leaving an x plus 1. We pull out a 3, leaving an x plus 1. So we have a 2x plus 3. Oops, I wrote the wrong one first, but it doesn't matter, I guess, right? I usually write the x plus 1, what's inside parentheses first, but that does not matter. Don't forget about the -1 that was sitting on the outside. I brought it all the way down to my answer. Everything must be represented. You factor out a -1, it's got to go in your answer blank. Questions about that? We're going to do the last one. We got 3 minutes left. We got this. What did you say?
The video's gonna be like 45 minutes long.
No, it's only going to be like 25. Relax. Yes, Noah.
Is there supposed to be an addition sign in the 2x parentheses x plus 1 plus 3? Or is it supposed to be multiplication there?
No, it's not supposed to be multiplication. It's plus.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just factoring by grouping. Okay, let's keep it going. What's the, what do I have to factor out? -1, right? Got to factor out a -1. We got to factor out a -1, which would leave us with a positive 6x squared plus 17x plus 12. Okay, what am I going to find the factors of? Yikes. Maybe I shouldn't have done this one. 72. Okay, let's just go in our calculator till we see. See, once I'm like, if I get past this section and I want to say, okay, and now I don't need to write out the whole list, I would probably just do this. Well, 71 divided by 1 is just 71. Or sorry, 72 divided by 1 is 72. That does not add together to get 17. Does this add together to get 17, 2 and 36? Nope. What about 3? Nope. What about 4? Nope. That gets us 22. 5 does not work. What about 6? It's close, but no cigar. 72 divided by 7 doesn't work. 8. Bingo. Right? 8 times 9. So we get 6x squared plus 8x plus 9x plus 12. And now we factor by grouping. We pull out a 2x, leaving a 3x plus 4. We pull out a 3, leaving a 3x plus 4. So our answer is -1, 3x plus 4, 2x plus 3. The moral of the story is don't forget about that -1. Do not forget about the -1. -1s are important too. Don't leave them behind. I got you. I got your back, -1. I won't let you go. You're laughing at me?
No, we're laughing.
No, we're laughing with you, not at you.
That's
No, I'm laughing.
No, you're laughing. You're laughing at me.
Every time someone says that, I'm like, nah, I'm laughing at you.
So long, YouTube world.
Bye, YouTube.